afternoon, everybody. Good to see you. I want to do a 3-week series building up to the holidays. And it's really interesting this year because Kwanzaa and Christmas actually come on the same day. So we have Christmas and Kwanzaa. I'm sorry, cancel that. Christmas and Hanukkah come on the same day. Kwanzaa comes the next day. So it's interesting in the timeline because at midnight it's Christmas, 4 o'clock in the afternoon will be Hanukkah, and midnight the next morning will be Kwanzaa. So we have a trifecta. What can I tell you? We'll see what happens here. But anyway, I'm glad they're kind of together because next week when I talk about the 3 different holidays, I want to be able to cover them all and give you an idea of the concept of them, what they're really all about. But today our topic is the concept of service in the holidays. So I want to start off just by reading the reading from today, which I also posted on Facebook. It was about letting go. How much do we need to let go of? A friend asked me one day. I'm not certain, I replied, but maybe everything. Letting go is a spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical process. A sometimes mysterious process of releasing to God and the universe that which we are clinging to so tightly. We have to learn to let go of our grasp on people, ideas, feelings, wants, needs, desires, everything. We let go of trying to control our progress and recovery. Letting go, remember, is an action of faith. It is a behavior that gives God and the universe permission to send us what we are meant to have. Letting go means we acknowledge that hanging on so tightly doesn't help us solve our problem. Who are we to say that things aren't happening exactly as they need to be happening? There is magic in letting go. Sometimes we get what we want soon after we let go. And at times it may take longer. And yet sometimes the outcome we desire, what the heck, doesn't happen. Something better does. Letting go frees us free, it sets us free, and connects us with our source. Today I will relax, I will let go of that which is upsetting me the most. I will trust that by letting go, I have started the wheels in motion for things to work out in the best possible way. I wanted to share that because I want to talk about a very special and beautiful word, and the word is service. It's a powerful word, but especially as we get ready for the holidays, the different celebrations of this type of the year, we have to realize, what does that word mean? How do we connect it? You know, we just finished Thanksgiving and we talked a lot about gratitude. But service is connected to gratitude. It's connected to us learning the importance that you're only going to be able to receive when you also learn how to give. So it's a back and forth process, giving and receiving. The 12th step of our program tells us that having had a spiritual awakening to carry a message. How do we do that? I think I've learned sometimes when we look at the holidays, we get so caught up in the whole concept of shopping, looking for gifts, running around like a bunch of crazy people, trying to figure out what's going on. We lose sight of what's really important. It is the spirit of these weeks, the purpose of them, to help us to begin to realize why we are here on this earth. You know, it's interesting how all the different holidays try to teach us the importance of our personhood. And one of the ways in which we can truly celebrate this spirit or this energy of the holidays is through the gift of service. What does service mean? It means taking the gift of myself, my talents, the things that are part of me, being able to share them with others, and then learning from others and connecting with others. You know, it's a time of the year when maybe we got to sit back and not look so much at how many things I can buy in the stores. Like we have Cyber Monday and Cyber this and Cyber that. It's all about sales. It's all about making money. But really, what is it? It might just be spending some of your time giving to others. It might be working at a shelter. It might be serving a meal. It might be carrying a food basket to someone. It might be giving where people need things, or above all, it might just be giving your time, your energy, and your love to someone else. And realizing the importance what these days really are all about. Are they about just these days? No. These are simply times of the year that we are reminded of what's really important in life. And that is to be able to work on my own personal spirit, be comfortable being who I am, open up my heart to my purpose on this earth and my purpose on the journey, and be able to share and be able to give to others the gifts that were given to me. And that might be a very simple thing. It might mean taking some time to listen to people, to say hello to them, to slow down, to relax. Because really, in reality, I'm learning more and more now that the more I am able to connect with other human beings, the more I can learn about things. It's also a time of forgiveness, a time of healing. That's what service really is. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everybody. It doesn't mean that we have to all be on the same page. It just means that we have to learn the art of accepting others where they are, loving them where they are, at times even detaching, but also realizing the fact that we're all just human beings on this earth. We're spiritual creatures in a human body. We're trying to learn and grow. And so I've learned over and over again, the gift of service might be a very simple thing. You know, so this time of the year, I love to decorate. I love to put stuff up. And the reason why I do that is because it's almost like when we decorate, everything comes alive. When the lights are on. I always equate that to the concept of service. When my light is on, it's going to shine. And if I allow the gift of myself to shine, it's going to touch another human being. And every one of us is such a gift. And the greatest gift I can give to another person is attention, is a little bit of love, and maybe in sometimes being able to listen and allow them to share. I've learned over and over again, some of the greatest gifts I received have been from people that sometimes you don't think they're gifts. You know, sometimes even those people that disappoint you, those situations that don't go your way, why does that happen? Because they were supposed to. Here I go again with my crazy spiritual words. Why am I where I am today on my journey in life? Why are you where you are on your journey in life? Because we are exactly where we're supposed to be at this point of our journey. We have to ask ourselves, do I do service to myself? Do I continue my process of growth? Am I open to learn, to grow, and experience new things? Do I have an open mind? Do I have this willingness inside of me, just to keep the process of changing, to be able to grow, to experience new things in the course of the journey? Even if I just, during this season, learn something new, listen to a different person, listen to a different point of view. But above all, also, it's the time to be able to pray, to be able to look at the spirit of this time of the year. You know, the 3 holidays that we're going to talk about have nothing to do with gift giving. They have to do with the spirit. We talk about a child. We talk about the concept of celebration. of celebrating our heritage, to celebrating who we are, to celebrating our uniqueness. And I have learned over and over again that if I take the time to celebrate the gifts that God has given me and not take them for granted, but be able then to share them with others and help others and open up to others, but I learn from them. You know, that reading today was very powerful because I really believe that when you have faith and you trust and you're open, everything goes where it's supposed to go. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. Now, I've learned something in my own life and I love sharing it. Do you ever think about just getting out of your own way? I've often said that probably the sickest part of our body is up here. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to control it. I'm trying to make it happen. When in reality, I don't have that power. To go with the flow of life is so beautiful. But again, to be open to the universe, to be open to the higher power, to be open to God, to be open to the concept of a faith, a belief, is to realize that everything will be taken to where it's supposed to be taken. We get upset a lot of times because I want this to go this way, I want it to go that way. But I've learned in my own journey that when I try to control something, it doesn't work. When I learn to let go, give it to God, and be open, then things find their way where they're supposed to go. You know, it's interesting sometimes in my own journey, in my own life, and I'll share it. So many times I had everything all figured out, exactly how I was going to live my life, what I was going to do, especially when I was in the seminary. I had this vision that as soon as I got ordained, I was going to be able to go out there and I was going to be able to save the world. Well, I don't think the world was ready for me. So the concept was I wasn't ready for the world. I went out there and I found out, you know what? This is a pretty crazy world we live in. And that basically I have to be able to navigate it, but also be able to be a person who has the courage and the openness to work on myself, and then to be able to share that with just another human being. The greatest service you can give is to acknowledge another person, to say hello, to let them know they're important. It might be a gift of service is maybe helping somebody out. A gift of service would be to decorate things around you, to help people get done. I live in a 55 and over community, and a lot of people don't have the energy to do this anymore. And so maybe a way to help out, to help others, to connect with others. It might be a simple act of being able to celebrate with people around you and to realize the importance of acknowledging them, lets you know you care about them. See, service has a lot of faces, but during the holidays, it even has more faces. I've learned over and over again to work with my church, to work with the food bank, to work with different areas where I can be able to help a little bit and connect. And yeah, I'm not running the place, but there might be a couple little things I can do. Maybe there's someone who needs a hand, someone who really can just need something special for this time. And that's what's important. Ask ourselves some questions today. How do we spend our time during these holidays? Now, one of the areas we're going to spend time with, most of us anyway, is family. And maybe we need to be present to our families. You know, sometimes I can get caught up in caretaking and giving and going to the community centers, things to that effect. But I have to stop and say, wait a minute. Am I making time just to be with my own personal family? To give them the gift of my love? You know, it's interesting, in the course of my journey in life, I remember when I was running around to agencies and rehabs and programs and everything else. And I never realized it. The one thing I never had a lot of time for was my own family. And now I look at COVID as a gift because we had to be still. And now I realize what's really important. Doing service to myself by taking care of my health because my body is changing. Ask yourselves the same question. To make time for my stepdaughters, to make time for my grandkids, to make time for my immediate family, to make time to be able to just spend time to be with them, to make time for my recovery family, to acknowledge who they are, just be present to share with them, to be open to new ways and new directions, and listen for new ideas. These are all forms of service. It might be, giving a little bit of yourself, giving what you can afford, maybe financially, just giving a little bit of you back. Because the thing I learned in 12-step programs, when you give back, you get back. And I have so much gratitude for over the years, the people that because of the gifts that we've given to them, have been able to give back to us. And it's amazing how this works. It's also another form of service. I can't take what I have for granted. I have to realize the value of it. And it might just be something small, something basic. It might be you stop to get gas, to give a small tip to the guy who pumps your gas, and wish him a Merry Christmas, or wish him a Happy Holiday, or wish him something. It might be you go to a restaurant, put an extra $1 in the tip. A little ways, little simple little things of giving if you can afford to give it, to be able to give back. And I've learned over and over again, those words are powerful. They're powerful service words. You see, the gifts I've been given over the course of my journey, especially in recovery, I need to be able to give those gifts back to others. Only when I give back do my gifts actually grow and become better and become more beautiful. It's amazing how it works. We're so busy sometimes trying to figure life out, how to make ends meet, do different things in our society today. And it is sometimes a little craziness. But do we have a gift of faith? Do we truly believe we're being led? Are we truly open to where we're being led? Are we learning to slow down and do a little bit at a time? I told you so many times, my sponsor used to say, take it easy. Do that much, that's enough. Don't do too much. Learn something new. It might just be a word. It might just be a person. It might just be a simple little thing. Earlier before the lecture, we put a little snowman up in the lobby. He's a little guy. Last year we had his father up there, big guy, totally amazing. So we got his son this year. It's a little guy. And I've learned over a period of time how to have a sense of humor, to look at life that way. I've learned over and over again the value of these little things that we experience. The value of being able to be open to where you're being led in the course of the journey. Wherever we are in our life today is exactly where we're supposed to be. Congratulations. You may not like it all the time. And we may even have relapses or make mistakes or fall down a little bit. It's okay. Life is a journey. It's just a journey. One day at a time. Take it slow. Will you make mistakes along the journey? I hope so. Because mistakes are part of life. Please, whatever you do, don't be perfect. The same thing when it comes down to the holidays. One of my favorite things, and I love it, is my Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I love it. It's plain, it's simple, it has one ball hanging off of it. You know, basically it's probably the tree nobody would really want to have. But to me, it's the most beautiful tree on the face of the earth. You know why? Because that little tree speaks volumes. It speaks respect. It speaks honoring. Something that means a lot. You know, I've learned over and over again the value of little things like that. The value of a child. The value of myself. The value of people around me. And it goes back to, I think of gratitude, we had talked about it earlier. I look at these things and I see little things. I even look at different little decorations and how much they mean. And I realize over and over again, there's simply different ways in which the higher power speaks to each and every one of us. How does God speak to us? Through people, through circumstances, through situations. And every once in a while, I'm convinced that the higher power decides to test us a little bit. And that means we have to have some aches and some pains. We have to have some setbacks. Remember, a setback is only a way to be able to move forward. Another way of learning. And so service means, can I just reach out and help another person? It might just mean making a phone call, saying hello, texting someone. All the simple little things that mean so much. It might just testing a phone call and saying good morning. Hope you're going to have a great day today. Hope things are going well. Just send out a positive message. Something that you can touch others with. I was so impressed by that reading today that I decided to post it on Facebook to reach out to others with it. Because I'm learning that one of the keys to living is to let go. The more we try to control things and force them to happen, they'll happen. What's supposed to happen will happen because it's supposed to. I don't know. I realize over and over again, I look back on the history of Starting Point, and I have no idea at all how we came from a little house in South Philadelphia to where we are today. It's weird, but it happened. How did it happen? I don't know. All I know is we took it one day at a time. We took one step at a time, one building at a time, one journey at a time, and here we are. Where will it be tomorrow? I don't know. I don't want to know. I want to be open to where we are today. And what lessons can I learn from this day? Do I get overwhelmed? Should have been here a couple of hours ago. Of course I get overwhelmed because I don't know how to solve some situations in life. So what do I have to do? I decided, I have 2 cases I'm working on right now. I have no idea what to do, so I decided to put them on the desk, say a prayer, and tell God, I can't figure this out, so give me an idea, let me know. Okay, now I'm going to put this aside, and I'll wait to hear from you. Well, I didn't wait too long because right away the phone rang. I answered the phone, and it was this guy who said, I did my intake yesterday. Do you have it? I got his name, and I said, yeah, it's right here. He said, well, I have to tell you some things about it and what you have to do to get it to work. I said, well, that's nice because I was trying to figure out how to get it to work. And so all of a sudden he arrived. See the power of prayer? It's amazing, isn't it? All of a sudden, now the thing is clear. I was confused before, but I'm learning that instead of me beating myself up or saying I should have known this, there's that shoulda again, to get away from that. I have to realize over and over again that somehow, some way, the answers will come. They will come when they're supposed to come. They will come in God's time, not in my time. And so if I truly try to be a person of service, if I truly acknowledge my gifts. I look around the Zoom call and I see so many people that are so gifted and so talented. And yet we all have our idiosyncrasies and we have our fears and we have our little crazy nutty things that we do. But you know what's so beautiful about all of us? Not one of us is perfect. Isn't that wonderful? It means we're all human beings. We all have imperfections. We all screw up every once in a while. If you don't think I ever screw up, just ask my wife. She'll tell you all about it. I've often joked about this. I said to my wife, why don't we have a fundraiser and have you roast me? She says, what do you want me to do? Take my life into my hands? She said, no, thank you. But the bottom line is, it's that beautiful part about that. You can laugh about this stuff and be open about it. And the more you're open, the more you learn, the more you grow. Yeah, okay. There's some things I can't be totally open about because I need to share them with somebody, my therapist or my sponsor or somebody to that effect. That's okay too. Because why these people come into your life? They come into your life to be your teacher. Why are you in their lives? To be their teacher. I love that phrase from the Woman's Meditation book. We are both teachers and pupils every day of our life. We are both teachers and pupils every day of our life. We are truly servants, but also we are receivers. And so we can't always be giving. Balance means to give and to receive, to give and to receive, to give and to receive. And that's what's important. And so you might have to just share a little bit. I know a lot of times in my life, I share things and later on they come back. I'll tell you a story. Don't ask me why I do crazy things, but I was at one of my lectures one day. I saw some people in the lobby, and I don't know why. I walked up to a lady who was sitting there, and I was talking to her for a few minutes. And I had my book I wrote on codependency and the aspect of it. I just said to her, I said, yeah, here's a present for you. Merry Christmas. She looked at me crazy. Don't ask me why I chose to give her that book. 2 weeks later, she was sitting there and she said, can I talk to you? I said, sure. She said, why'd you give me the book? I don't know. I said, I just felt like giving it to you. She said, well, thank you. That book opened up so many areas for me. I shared it with my therapist. My therapist was amazed by it. And we're working on some of the stuff in my therapy session. So thank you. But how did you know? I said, I hate to tell you this, I didn't know. Something told me to give you a book, so I gave you a book. You don't know the answer to a lot of these things. You never know when you're touching somebody else, just by a simple little act. Now, I was working with a client one time, and basically, I felt this urge inside of me to grab this book off my shelf and give it to him. He said, what do I do with this? I said, try reading it. See what happens. Do I have to? I said, no, you don't have to. But it's a gift from me to you. Oh, it took about 3 months. Sometimes God works in slow ways. He came back, he said to me, I finally read that book you gave me. Thank you. You were thinking of me when you gave it to me, weren't you? I said, yep. But see, again, we don't know. So I love that about life. I don't want to know all the answers. I don't want to know if it's going to work or not going to work. I want to have faith that everything will be led to where it's supposed to be led. They'll be led in God's time, not in my time. And that's what real faith really is all about. And service and faith are connected to each other. As we get in closer to the holidays, try to remember, they're going to come, they're going to go. And believe me, they'll come fast and they'll go fast. And then we'll move on into a new year. A new year that have its complications and its craziness. It's all part of it. But you realize the fact, it was a growing year. So one of the things I've learned too to spend some time in service to yourself is look back in gratitude for the year that was. You know, my wife and I can look back and we can actually say, am I truly grateful? It was a tough year, it really was. And yet, I know a lot of growing took place as a result of it. We experienced loss, and unfortunately, people during the holidays, even before that, experienced forms of loss. Sometimes we don't even understand why. We wonder, why did it happen? Why did God let it happen? Well, no, we're human beings. Remember, we're still in this human body. And this thing up here can really tick and go crazy. And that's why we have to learn the gift of balance. The gift of being able to ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for direction. Be open to new things. Learn to listen. You know, how are you going to learn from other individuals and people if you don't want to listen to them? Because each one has a book in this room. And your book is the greatest book on the face of the earth. And that's why it's important to learn from each person's experience. Why do you think in the program they ask you to share, they say, share your experience, your strength, and your hope? We've all been through things in life. Did you ever think and take some time during the holidays now in prayer to say thank you for whatever happened? Thank you even for the negative stuff that happened. And say a prayer in gratitude for whatever's going to happen in the future. But am I open to learn from what happened? My history is my teacher. Got to learn from it. Did I learn that it's okay to make mistakes? And if I'm able to help others with their mistakes and be a guide and a direction, how can I really help them if I never made one myself? So do I know what it is to fall down? Yes. Do I know what it is to get up? Yes. Do I know what it takes just to be able to look at the journey of life and be able to be peaceful with it? And so I want you to remember about service, because service is a gift. It's the gift of giving. It's the gift of receiving. It's the gift of sharing. It's a powerful gift. And again, it might just be walking past someone and acknowledging that they're there, saying hello to them. You don't have to know them. Try it. It's amazing. Now, I walk around the supermarket a lot of times, I'll see people, I'll say, hi, how you doing? And many of them will be so happy. They'll say, I'm doing good. How you doing? I don't know who they are. That's all right. I don't need to know. I'm glad they're doing okay. It's just an acknowledgement, letting people know that you care. See, I'm not talking about, fixing the world or saving the world. The world's not going to get saved. It's not going to get fixed, not by us anyway. Maybe by God, somehow, some way. But the bottom line is, I have to learn from where I am on my journey in my life today. I was talking to a person the other day, and they're talking about how corrupt this is, how corrupt that is. I say, well, stop. I said, you've got a big, big emphasis on the corruption. Now let's look at those same things and see what good they did. Well, I can't see any good. I said, I know, because you're blocked by the bad. There's always two sides to everything. There's always some good there somewhere. We have to be able to process the good as well as the bad. And that's what life really is all about. It's the combination of both. I use the analogy to bring this out, and I love sometimes the human analogy of the human body. If you go to a hospital and hook yourself up to a heart station, the monitor, if they hook you up, pray that the monitor goes like this, up and down, up and down. So it goes straight across in perfection, it means you're dead. But up and down is important because it means we're going to have the up times and the down times, the up times and the down times. But we're always processing, we're always learning, we're always growing a little bit at a time. And sometimes we have to experience the negative to discover the positive. Sometimes when we discover the positive, we still have to realize there is another side to it too. Everything's got that balance. The Buddhists teach it, Eastern philosophy teaches it, the balance of the yin and the yang, the balance of life. And that's why you have to have some aches and pains. The senior citizens know what I'm talking about. That's okay. It's part of the journey, part of the struggle. Because, this body is not going to last forever. It's going to wear out a little bit. It's because it's supposed to. I don't want my spirit to wear out, though. Even though my physical body is going through changes, my spirit needs to continue the process of developing and learning and being open. But I'll tell you a secret also. By doing service, by being open to learn and grow, by being able to share the gift of yourself, it'll keep you out of the hospital because you'll be able to be a person that's able to share from their experience, from their strength, to experience who they are. And what's so beautiful about it, I never knew I was even allowed to do this. Because for the first 44 years of my life, I was locked in a trap. And I'm grateful today to be the majority of me is out of the trap. And so my prayer today is that as we get ready for these holidays, yes, you can buy your gifts and also you can decorate, but take some time for the spiritual part. Take some time to pray. Take some time to be open to the journey of our higher power, to be open to the journey of life. Take some time to realize how important we really are. So let us pray. God, we come before you in prayer, the God of our understanding, our divine providence, the divine universe. We ask that you be our guide and our strength in all that we do. We're on a journey back to you. On that journey, we're going to reach a lot of areas in life that may or may not work. But God, I just want to ask you, please, be my guide, my strength, and my direction, and help me to be open to learn and to grow. Teach me never to be done, to realize that life is something special and beautiful to be cherished. And so as a family, we come together. We come together with our imperfections, with our beauty and our strength. And we ask you to guide us and be with us on this beautiful journey called life. We pray and we ask this, and we ask to see your guidance. We pray for it in your name. Amen.